I'm TV host and producer Lila Grind, lifestyle enthusiast, entrepreneur, and local explorer who's plugged into all things Ottawa. This city has evolved into much more than Canada's capital. Discover all the cool and amazing aspects of Ottawa with me right here on Celebrate Ottawa. I'm at Madahòkì farm today to take an Indigenous cooking class with Chef Trudy. We'll be making bison chili and bannock. But before we start talking about the cooking class itself, how did you become a chef?
I started cooking when I was a child, but primarily because, well, we grew up in northern Newfoundland, and I didn't like being outside in the cold, you know, digging the snow, chopping the wood, bringing it in. I did those things too when I had to, but if I had the opportunity, I was in the kitchen and cooking.
What sort of things would you be making as a child?
Actually, the first thing I ever made was chili. Funnily enough. Yeah, that was one of my first things that I ever made. Growing up in northern Newfoundland, a lot of it was like codfish dishes, and then my brothers would fish for salmon, moose, that sort of thing. And then, of course, stuff from the grocery store. But when we could, we used the foods that my brothers hunted and fished.
In terms of today's cooking class, we're doing the bison chili and we're doing the bannock. Can you give us a little history about those two dishes and a little bit about what the steps will be when we're actually in the class making it? What's your process like?
You want some inside knowledge?
Yes. What are your trade secrets, Chef Trudy? Tell us.
So we're doing bison chili because bison chili is something that's used on Indian tacos, which we do a lot here through the farm for catering and stuff. Chili is one of my favorite dishes. It's an easy dish to cook for a lot of people. And I did do a lot of catering on my own, and that would be one of the things, because it's also easy to bring it back to a vegetarian dish. I can do everything the same except omit the protein. So we're going to be cooking the bison, which we get from a farm in northern Ontario, and one of our other chefs brings it down to us, which saves a lot on shipping because it's not cheap. So we're going to be cooking the bison. We're going to be, of course, dicing all the vegetables. The students will be doing all the work today. I'm just going to be watching everybody and making sure it's being done and you don't lose a finger. So doing all the vegetables, we have a process. I'm not somebody who just throws everything into the pot. Like, I want to make sure that everything we're putting in the pot, we know it's in there, we're going to taste it. Caramelizing onions and celery, kind of like an mirepoix, but I'm not doing the mirepoix. I never use the carrots, I just use the onions and celery. And then there's a secret that I do that not everybody knows about, which you'll learn today. So I won't tell you what it is yet. So you'll learn that in the class. So they'll have to take the class. So they'll have to come here and take the class in order to learn that. I don't mind. It's just something that I do, and people say, I never do that, and it does make a difference. And I will talk about it, but yeah. And as for the bannock, so the bannock is in Inuktitut, so the Inuit language, we call it palauga. There's different ways of making it. We could do like a oven-baked bannock. We could do a pan-fried bannock, a deep-fried bannock, a stove-top bannock, open-fire bannock. Today we're going to be doing probably a baked bannock, and then you'll all have the opportunity to make some on the open fire outside with one of our other staff that's going to be doing it with you.
Yeah, I love bannock, especially the deep fried. I think I've only ever tried the deep fried, so this is going to be a treat for me. So there's something that you do with these Indigenous cooking classes, is that there's meals that we'll prepare, but the extra additional meals go somewhere. So can you describe a little bit about that?
Each class we accommodate about 10 students, 10 to 12 students, depending on if we have one more person interested, they're not going to say, no, you can't come in. We'll squeeze you in somewhere. So we all have a meal at the end today, so we'll all share what we made. Each participant gets to take home 4 meals, and then each participant is going to be preparing 4 meals, which Madahòkì will then give to a women's shelter or maybe some of the outreach programs in Ottawa. So we did that last time around. We're going to be doing it again with each of the cooking classes. We always want to make sure that we're giving back to the community. First Nations, one of the things that I have learned being here, well, before being here, but just being a part of the whole community of cooking, 3 Sisters is really important in some First Nations cultures. So beans, corn, and squash. So you'll find that in a lot of recipes. Like there's a corn soup, there's a 3 Sisters salad. So those 3 sisters come together. And in First Nations communities, they are grown together in a certain way because they all contribute to the growth of each of the individual plants. Here at the farm, we are starting to grow some of our own foods. So we're going to be growing herbs. We have some, we have hens. We don't have enough yet, but we get a few eggs and stuff like that. We're not growing animals to butcher them. So it's exciting because I did an event last year where I needed juniper berries and I forgot to buy juniper berries. And somebody said, I saw some in the woods the other day. So off they go to get me some juniper berries. So that's kind of nice. And then we have, it's a large property. It's 160 something acres. And we're here for the next 24 years. So it's going to give us, and probably beyond that, I would venture to say. So we are going to be developing and doing more of our own growing of things that we're using here on the farm, especially in what we need for the Indigenous recipes. I don't know if we have any maple trees out there, but 164 acres, there might be a few. So maybe we'll make our own maple syrup because we use a lot of maple syrup.
Oh yeah, and it's so tasty.
Yeah.
Giving Indigenous cooking classes, why is that important to you?
For me, it's just, I love cooking. I love teaching people to cook. It gives people an opportunity to learn new skills, new ways of putting flavors together. Some people might be afraid to try something new. When I do my classes, it's not just about what's happening in front of you right now, but why we do things why I do things the way that I do them. I've never been formally trained, but I've learned a lot over, 40 years. Over 40 years I've been cooking, and I've worked with some pretty amazing chefs, and I'm always watching what they're doing, and we're always talking back and forth. They're giving me pointers. They're asking me questions about, oh, wow, you're a chef and you don't know that? And it's like, so it's kind of impressive. But just sharing the experience, and that's what's the nice thing, because people always leave feeling more empowered, especially when they make something that they haven't made at home or are afraid to make at home. I teach some classes, and some of the classes that I choose to teach, I choose to make things that people wouldn't necessarily try and make it at home because they're afraid to do it. But it's a pretty simple technique, a lot of things that I make. And it's just building up people's confidence that, yeah, they can do this, they can be in the kitchen, they can make whole foods meals and healthy meals. I mean, the cooking class that we're doing a cooking class, we have another one scheduled. Beyond that, we don't have any plans for more right now. That's not to say we're not going to do them. If there's an interest, we will continue them. But there's a lot happening at the farm otherwise. We have all the solstices, like I said, 4 times a year. They're generally a 3 or 4 day event. Thousands of people, hundreds and hundreds of Indigenous peoples coming together, and we're open to the public. We're here to educate, we're here to welcome. We have things happening at the farm. We have the Indigenous marketplace. If people look up the website for Madahòkì Farm, there's things that we can offer program-wise, and people can just send in a request, or if they have a request that's not on there, if they think of something that they don't see, reach out to us, because we're new also, right? It's like, what do people want? We're here to share, and Madahòkì is share the land, so it's open for everybody to be coming out. Yeah.
Coming up, we feature the Great Bowls of Fire charity event hosted by the Ottawa Guild of Potters.
The Guild started 50 years ago this year. We're really excited to be celebrating our 50th anniversary. And we have a lot of great events that are happening throughout the year this year. The Guild was started by a small group of about 5 potters, and it quickly grew. We offer community events, we offer educational events for members and non-members, and special workshops as well. We're about 120 members strong currently, and people belong from all across the region. And we've been online through COVID, and now moving back to meeting in person, and very happy to be back in person. Great Bowls of Fire has been an important event for the Guild for about 15 years now. It's part of a North American-wide movement where potters gather, usually in the spring, and hold Great Bowls of Fire events, or sometimes called empty bowls events. So potters donating their bowls, restaurants donating their soups and chilies and breads, and sharing food and ceramics to benefit food banks around the province and around the country. We have 17 potters who are donating 25 bowls each this year. They're members of the Guild and people who've been making pottery for quite a while. There are different techniques represented. The bowls here are all fully functional. They can go in the dishwasher, they can go in the microwave, you can use them over and over again. And they're just meant to be a beautiful example of the work that the potter enjoys making. There's some with landscape themes, there are some with multiple glazes, there's some that are very special, specific bowls that are particular to different artists' styles. We have one set of bowls that are a lovely emerald green, celebrating the 20th anniversary of Gladstone Clayworks, and those were collaboratively made by some of the artists at Gladstone Clayworks just for this event today. People in Ottawa look forward to this event every year. As soon as our event is announced, people start to buy tickets, and they love to come. We have some people who come year after year, and then new people come and participate as well. They line up here at the Glebe Community Centre, and people vie to be first in line to choose their bowl and get the best selection possible. People love to go and look around and see all the bowls. Some of them might be specifically collecting a bowl from a potter that they know, maybe a former teacher, maybe a potter whose work that they already collect, or maybe a new potter that they've seen on the poster and they really like the color or the shape or the decorating style of the bowl that they've seen. So once they've chosen their bowl, then they go upstairs where the restaurants have all set up their displays, and they have different types of soup, and people can choose up to 3 soups, and then some carbs to go along with that. We have gluten-free and gluten-full as well, and people can choose their breads to take home. And then often people will come as a group. So family members might come. I know there's a book club that's coming together to choose their soups together, their bowls, and then they'll go to someone's house together and enjoy their soups as a book club. I was drawn to pottery from the very beginning. I had a favorite aunt who was a potter in California, and she stopped potting at age 92. So pottery is something you can do for your whole life. To me, pottery is almost a magical thing. Pottery, the oldest pots that have been discovered are about 21,000 years old, and they're still usable today. There are pots in almost every place around the world. People have always found a way to find clay and make it into useful objects, and that resonates today. We all have pottery, whether it's handmade or machine-made, in our teeth, in our toilets, in our kitchen cabinets, and around the tables where we gather with our friends and family. I'm a featured potter for the event, so I've made a selection of bowls for today. The reason I get involved is because community is really important to me. It's the heart of a lot of the things that I do, friendship, gathering people around a table together, and the food security is an issue that's near and dear to my heart, and supporting the Ottawa Food Bank is important to me year-round, and I love being able to express that through making bowls and inviting people together to have a beautiful handmade bowl and soup and share it with friends and family. The bowls that I've made this year are with stoneware clay, and it's dark speckled clay. And I've glazed them in a landscape design, so it's meant to look like this, the sunset along the Ottawa River. So there's stripes and layers, 3 different glazes, and then some bare clay at the bottom. So the person holding the bowl will get to feel the different textures of the clay and the glazes, which each feel slightly different. When people come into our ballroom, you can see the smiles on their face. It's wonderful to see how people respond to all the bowls, and they can see the craftsmanship that goes into them, the artistry, the design, the energy of the makers as they pick up bowls and turn them over and feel them and join in that energy of people who are making beautiful work and want to share their work with others. It's a really important part of the way we live these days. Lots of people want to support local, they want to support artists, and they want to support the food bank. This really is a community event. So many people work to pull it together. The restaurants who donate their excellent food, the potters who donate their time either making bowls or organizing today, setting up the tables, getting things organized, and doing all the tasks that are involved in running a community event for 300 people and raising about $15,000 for the Ottawa Food Bank. We're really proud to do it, and a lot of gratitude to all the hands that have helped with this event. If someone wants to get involved in pottery, there's so many ways to get involved. Take a pottery course. Just take the jump, find a studio near you and get your hands in some clay, get some dirt flying around, get some mud, and enjoy that feeling of making a pot. If you are interested, come and join the Ottawa Guild of Potters. We welcome potters of all skills and abilities and ages, and we'd love to see you.
Don't go away. After the break, we will feature the 5K Foam Fest, a one-of-a-kind obstacle course-based fun run.
We're here in Ottawa, just outside in a van at Commando Paintball Centre for our event, the 5K Foam Fest. We're a 5-kilometer obstacle course family fun run. We cater to all ages, all abilities. Out on course, we have 22 plus obstacles with inflatable, foam, mud, and more, and lots of fun. It did originate within the US, and we did elevate and grow and expand over into Canada. So we've been activating since 2010 and now worldwide in 3 different countries. So not in US this year, hopefully in the book sometime in the future. Currently throughout Canada, we've been operating since 2010, and we're in 4 years now over in Australia. So lots of different countries, and who knows what's in the books for the future. Maybe Europe and that, we're not opposed to it. So it's exciting times, and we hope to continue to see it grow. Really, I think the purpose of the event itself was really to bring people together in a fun family manner, but kind of tease you with a bit of fitness. So you're out there, your body's being tricked, you're having fun, but you're still kind of being able to stay active in that. So lots of fun, and that's really all we want to bring when we are able to visit different areas like this. So within our Canadian tour, we're on a 11-stop tour across Canada this summer. We started over out west in BC and have worked our way through. So we're here in Ontario today, and we're super excited. It is coming to the tail end of our tour. We're sad, but it's been a great summer. So I do work a lot in the back end on kind of working with our great local vendors, sponsors, and things like that to really make the event come to life. But I'm not the only person a part of this team. We have a crew of 18 that travels along the road tour the entire summer who put up the event itself. They are the backbone of our team and this event, so we appreciate them so much. So very excited. Over the years, we've had the opportunity to work with some wonderful charities. We're in our 5th year partnership this year for our tour in Canada with Make-A-Wish Canada, and we have been fortunate enough over the years to work with some amazing organizations, and to date we've raised over $3.1 million for charities. I come from a background of sports, and my passion is obviously team camaraderie and being a part of those sports. And when obviously looking and thinking about what I want to do with my life, that aspect really was something that was important to me, and building experiences along with that. So the event realm was just kind of a no-brainer when I had that ability to shift and pivot into it. So joining 365 Sports, it was amazing because I've been able to really mesh those two passions together. And every day I come into work really enjoying myself, and on event day, it's a sense of accomplishment for everything we've worked on our team over the year building up, and seeing the events pull off and all come together, people smiling throughout. It's exciting. It's very enjoyable for somebody who helps organize it. So what you can expect if you come and sign up for Foam Fest, or even if you're joining us as a spectator, it is a fun day. First off, we've got our festival area. It's filled with some food vendors and some great local partnerships and sponsors that we have throughout our tour. There's a free kids zone for children who are 6 and under who can't participate in the run, because we want them to be able to be a part of that fun and get some little training in. Out on course, you're going to be faced with mud, foam, inflatables, some structured obstacles, really challenge your body throughout. So 22 plus obstacles throughout. And then we have 3 of our huge, largest water inflatable slides that you'll be met right towards that finish line as you're coming through. So at the end of the day, I think if you're signing up, just be prepared to have fun, but have a little bit of challenge at the same time. I think the benefit to the Foam Fest is we are an all ages, all abilities event. And what is great about that is somebody who is maybe a marathon runner can come out and participate in our run, but somebody who maybe is just coming off the couch and has never run a 5K before, it's no worry, we can still get them out there. The obstacles are there and they're optional, so nothing is needed for them to go through. So the great thing with that is they can still go out there, kind of trick their body into that exercise piece, and still have that fitness element, but you're having fun at the same time, which is important as well. The goal really with the event is there's no first place, there's no winner and things like that. So we are not a timed event. We are no pressure. You can literally walk, roll, crawl your way through the course. At the end of the day, if you are able to finish that, that's all we want. To have the accomplishment of you finishing the run and having a great time. That for us is a win. What makes Foam Fest special for participants is the ability to come out as a team and kind of this camaraderie piece. So when you're out on course, you have your volunteers, day staff throughout that are really there to encourage you through, and pushing yourself through that course. It brings people together in a team environment and really builds a special bond. And then just as you're coming through the finish line together as a group, it's that, again, that sense of accomplishment that I think is really special. The creativity and the team piece really comes to play on event day. We see it often out on course with participants wearing different team logos, dressing up with tutus. We had a guy in a banana suit before. I think that's one thing we encourage is teams to come out, morph out of who you are for the day and have fun. And we see that a lot throughout our events, and it just makes for even more enjoyable and fun event. There's definitely a thrill when it comes to participating in a run like the Foam Fest. And for myself, I have run it a couple times, but I think there's a little rush of adrenaline when you are going down a 40-foot like inflatable slide that kind of brings butterflies and that excitement piece. So I think people, when they sign up, they don't really know what they're getting into, but as they're like, there's that rush as you're completing it and going through these obstacles, and then that drive as you're getting closer to the finish line. I think that's what really pushes people through and makes it really enjoyable. And with Foam Fest, the goal and the hopes from our team and what we want people to leave at the end of the day is coming to the event, but leaving happy, feeling accomplished, that they've conquered a fear, maybe going down a slide that they wouldn't normally do, crossing a finish line, maybe it's their first 5K, or if they are part of a team in a group run and they were successful at fundraising a goal amount for our charity Make-A-Wish this summer, that at the end of the day is an accomplishment for us. And we hope that they want to come again next year. So I think those are wins for our team, and we hope that everybody can come out and do that. So for anybody questioning themselves on if they can participate or not sure if they could join us, or they aren't sure if this event's quite for them, I would say to you, like, don't be afraid. We're here, everybody has their challenges, and our team at the end of the day is here to set up those challenges for you, and we're gonna push you to try to beat that and overcome those fears. We're all here, it's gonna be a fun day, a fun event, and that's all we want to do. So don't hesitate, sign up, you won't regret it, and I'm sure you'll come back the year after.